Hello, I'm Toycat, and over the last 3 months, I've been uploading more frequent but easier to create content to this YouTube channel. This is also known as Daily Slop, and how much have I earned from that is a really easy question to answer because this is YouTube Analytics. It's the confidential screen that you aren't meant to see as the public, but I'm going to show you my last 90 days, and you can see that I've earned $3,261 over that time period. If we work this out on a per month basis, it's about $1,100 US, and given that I've uploaded about 60 videos in that time frame, you can work that out, given that they each take just over an hour to produce, as being about $50 per video or just under $50 per hour. This is great and might make you have the question of why are you not uploading more? Why are there gaps in your uploads? Why is it that some days you don't upload? If you could earn $50 per hour, which I'll concede is a very good rate, well, let's dive into what YouTube says about that answer, because I try to be data driven on as many things as I can, and I'm going to show you the data behind why I do what I do and also what the future of this channel will be. So let's start with the most important thing on that, and that is to say that yes, we earned $3,200 over the last 90 days, but kind of unevenly distributed because we don't actually earn $50 per hour. And if you run any business out there, if anyone out here is self-employed in any way, never trick yourself into believing that you have an hourly rate, because some hours always pay more than others. Unless you work for a company that pays you per billable hour, you get paid not per hour, but per piece of output. And so over the last 90 days, the German election situation is crazy. Took the same amount of time as any other video, just slightly over an hour, but it earned me $180. And so for this hour, I earned $180 in the last month. That is a very, very good hourly rate, even better than 50, I would make the point to argue. And yeah, we even gained 391 subscribers, which means that this video likely then has people who subscribe, and some number of those people are going to watch other videos, maybe even multiple regular videos, which means I've likely earned even more than 180 from this video. Whereas if we compare that to a video uploaded this week that maybe didn't do so well, Fish is Sinking, the EU-US defense deal, where we earned $18 from this hour, but we also lost 2 subscribers. We then gained 1 back, which is nice. But you know, the fact is that we lost 2 subscribers on this video and earned $18, so it probably earned me substantially less than $50, even by the time we talk about all of the knock-on effects, because yeah, we won't be talking about Patreon in this video, but that is also another $150. I don't make the claim that the Patreon is here to increase the quality or because I desperately need to pay bills. No, I buy kebabs and lobster rolls, and if you are a Patreon, you sometimes get to watch me eat those things, but a different point for a different time. But now I just want to point out that the easiest way we can argue why I don't upload more videos, even though I'm getting paid $50 an hour to do so, is that you don't, and actually which videos you upload is really, really important. Over the last 90 days, some videos have done way better than others, which will bring me into my second point now, because if we look at some of the content which has done better than average, one of my favorites would be the New Zealand tourism ad, I think. I just really enjoyed making this video. It's really fun in a really silly way, but also it talks about an issue I think is important, which is the slow increase of countries basically taxing you to enter. It's like kind of like tariffs if you think about it, but for people. And in this video I earned $70, so more than the average, and also 79 people subscribed, and also the video's doing great on engagement mark, or typical engagement, and it's doing pretty well in general. And so this is a really great example of a video that was really profitable in theory, but actually, so if you notice the high quality thumbnails, I do pay my editor Naito to make those, and also I paid him to edit this video because it wasn't uploaded the same day that it was created. So you know, if we add in the editing and the thumbnail, I actually earned substantially less than $50 on this video, and on some you can even make a loss. If there are production costs, your earnings can go down substantially, and that's part of the reason why, even though we've tried out a bunch of editing things over the years, I haven't liked any of them enough to say this is better than just the raw form of almost, look, it's just me and something on my PC, which people do seem to be resonating with. I even started recently doing these silly MS Paint thumbnails, and people do say they like them, and indeed, not just saying they like them, but actively are clicking on these thumbnails to great extents. I did the A/B test using this video, if I'm not mistaken, which is a underperforming video, I guess we could say, and you can see it got 47% of the views, whereas when we tested it next with, I think it was this video, the Trump tariffs one, you can see that the real thumbnail with arrows and percentage points, all the things that people love, did way worse than a penguin, which doesn't really look like a penguin, some people said, but I think those people are lying, which says 10% tariff. And so, weirdly, there is a case for lower quality being better for some people. I think the highest quality video that we uploaded over this time period might be the I think it was 5 maps, the 5 biggest problem in the world in maps. And I think that this video earned $30 and so actually made a loss. The quality of a video in objective terms does not relate to the amount of quality people get from it, and therefore the amount of views that it will get. So yeah, I think that therefore we could look at our best content over the last 90 days. There's 2 ways to measure this. One is audience retention. This is the number of people still watching at 30 seconds. It's highest in ranking the US amendments. Then it's next highest on Canada wanting free trade with itself. I'm glad that people are also interested in this, by the way. But even though these videos both did well on retention, they both did pretty poorly on views. The best video was the Austrian political crisis and the German election results, and the worst videos were the Poland military build-up. Not one of my favorites. I think one of my goals for this channel is to try and give you an actually neutral look into the world and certain things, right? I think that actually understanding, like kind of seeing the world not as a world of dogmatic views, but instead saying it's like a quantum field, right? There are a range of possibilities over the next 10 years. One of those possibilities, as increasingly unlikely as it looks, is that all of these war things are resolved with a giant free trade agreement and free movement of people between China, Russia, EU, and the United States, right? And then, South America and Africa can become the bad guys, hypothetically, right? We could have a world that looks like that, or we could have a world that's like, oh yeah, there is a big red zone, a brand new Iron Curtain falls across Europe, a brand new Iron Curtain falls across the Pacific, or at least maybe across the Sea of Japan. Ultimately, you could have a world that goes in either way, and understanding that either world is likely is important. I think this is why people like my election coverage, is because most people and most places, when they talk about election stuff, all they can talk about is here's why our guys are going to win. But I love actually dissecting election results and hopefully explaining why people would vote for this party, why that party, maybe they'd feel cheated if they voted for that party and it went poorly for them, why this happened, why that happened. I think people really enjoy my take on that, and I'm glad that that is true. And so, yeah, I think that that doesn't work for military situations, because I think that in the same way, if you believe in the center-left party in France or in the UK, and the center-left party does well, you can be like, yep, this is a great victory for our country. If the center-left party does poorly, you're like, yep, the bad people are in now. It's the good people and the bad people, damn it. But that's how I feel about war. I think war is really, really bad, and I think that means I can't really cover it that effectively because I have such an anti-war bias that I want to believe the world where Russia actually just backs down and gives back Ukraine and everything goes nicely. But that's, I think that is a problem, right? And I think that's why some of my military videos are not quite as fun. I think this video is a bit of an outlier because of, but the interesting thing here is that we can say the second reason is that, the amount we earn per hour is an important thing. The amount that those videos do well is important in terms of having a YouTube channel, because if we lose subscribers on every video, eventually we won't have a YouTube channel, right? So I think what's good for the channel and what is good for the individual hour are both 2 critical factors. We could make daily videos for another month and earn less than 1,100, in fact, earn less than 700 even. It could continue dipping if we don't make the right content. And so that's an interesting thing, which causes me to raise the last point of this video, which is that even though $50 an hour is objectively a decent amount, and if you did that 8 hours a day, not that you can on YouTube, because if you upload 8 videos a day, you certainly won't be getting the same number of views. But if you did that 8 hours a day, that'd be $400 a day. But the thing is, even though it's true that a average video over that time period has earned $50, actually something that's important to me is what I want to make. Like I mentioned, I'm really happy with my election videos. I really enjoy making them. It's one of my favorite nerd things to go into, if you will. I enjoyed my Should Canada Join the EU video, but I don't really enjoy the videos that involve the current US president, right? And the reason behind that is because ultimately, at some point, you just have to speculate wildly on when he says this, everyone assumes he means this, but maybe he means this? Maybe he means exactly what he says. He hasn't done that before, but maybe he has. It means that, you just have a really silly video that doesn't actually add to the world knowledge, and that's one of the reasons why I think lying is kind of negative. You can learn more about why lying is bad from my video coming fairly soon about can you lie to the machine that asks you if you're a terrorist, but point for a different time. I'd be very careful about that, by the way. I wanted to make sure that nowhere in my description for this video did I reference the word the T word, you know. Nowhere in the thumbnail did I want to mention that, or at least not the primary thumbnail. Let's hope that video doesn't get demonetized. But yeah, with that said, the important last point I want to raise today is that I basically have this opportunity where I get to talk about something exciting every day if I want to, and it does take an hour or something of my time, which means that on days where I'm physically not here, or on days where I'm really busy working on something which genuinely might be worth more than $50 an hour. Again, when you're self-employed, the amount that you earn per hour of doing something is really, really hard to calculate. I've been tracking how many hours I work on everything, and it doesn't correlate at all with, the earnings. There is no doubt, because some hours just matter more than others. I think the 80-20 rule is the best way to explain that. 80% of the value comes from 20% of your time, and that sucks as a human, but it is always true whether you get paid a fixed hourly rate or not. But anyway, now the important last point I want to raise is, what is it that I'm going to do from here onwards? If you know that some videos earn more than others, if we know that I would love to make a German election video every day, but there isn't a German election every day, I would love to talk about these grander geopolitical concepts, but the reason this is relevant is because it is a newsworthy issue. Ultimately, I can't just look at my best videos from my perspective, from earnings perspective, and from your perspective, and just make more of those without easily being able to work out what is it that actually ties these together. What is the current, it's April. What is the April 2025 version of one of these videos and not one of these videos? It's something that is something we could choose to work out, but in the meantime, allow me to humor you with what I think YouTube would like me to make, because YouTube gives you all this data about how many of your viewers are, which channels your audience watches. That's interesting. Videos growing your audience. Again, you can see this video not just, it didn't just earn me money, it had more people watching the channel. Which, if we, level that there has to be some slightly narcissistic part of you to, think that you talking to a camera for 13 minutes at a time is worth watching, that's really good on lots of levels. Money, self-belief, my video and everything else. But what's even more interesting is that YouTube will now tell you what videos it thinks you should upload. So usually, I've done this on my main channel a few times. I've never looked here. But why invading the UK is nearly impossible is a video that, oh, actually medium interest. Why would it put it at the top there? But it's a video that my viewers would probably be interested in. Cat memes from different countries would have low memes for me. Man, these are really bad trends. That is interesting. US Explained has really very high interest from my viewers, though. Oh, that is interesting is the channel. Okay. So that's not something I can really capitalize on because I'm not that is interesting. But then if we look through here, you can see 7 myths British people actually believe about America. Medium interest. Then we've got new countries that might exist soon, high interest. Now, this is something that I think I would love to talk about. I think we have spoken about it before. What are the newest countries that will exist soon? And so basically, here's a fun game I'm going to play, internet. After tomorrow's video, which, I'm sure, a couple of people are going to watch early. But actually, wait, we'll set it to member only. And then if you're a member, you can watch it right now. And if you're not, you can watch it on Friday. Exciting. But actually, yeah, here's the fun thing. If we go to earn, I think I'm going to find something that I'm not meant to show here. You can see how much I earn for members, which is about $26 over the last 30 days because I have 10 channel members. That's interesting that 10 members becomes $26. That's a really steep cut. Or maybe it is that the lowest membership tier on this channel is just really low. I don't know what it is. But what I do know is, do I get any money from supers? I earned €5 from, okay. Let's go back to the analytics and let's say, after tomorrow's video, because I wanted to just do a dumb, entirely unrelated video about the machine that asks you if you're a terrorist. After tomorrow's video, I'm going to go through YouTube's trends and I'm going to make a video on something from this list for a week. I don't know how many days in that week. I don't know what the videos will be. I think this is a really fun, goofy one, but I'm going to make a video from YouTube's trend section, and we're going to see, because, people are looking for it, if this is actually good for the channel, or if this is one of the worst things ever, and YouTube should be fired from suggesting content because they can give it to people, but they don't know how to suggest it to people. But yeah, for now, thank you for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. Thank you for contributing to my lobster roll budget, and or really at this point, my travel budget. I'm excited, chat. I'm at 59 countries, about to hit the big 60. I could do it real easily by just flying to Portugal, flying to Moldova, flying to Croatia, or I could go and get like a tricky one, get to maybe sub-Saharan Africa. I've been looking at Ghana, for example, or I could go and do a fun one. You know, I've got you know, the Middle East is surprisingly unclaimed here. I am gonna use your money exclusively to travel to countries that you disagree with. Do you dislike the US? I'll travel there. I'll pick up the last few states, Montana. Do you disagree with the Middle Eastern's policy on everything besides oil? I'll travel there. Do you disagree with the Dr. Congo and their distribution of wealth? I will use the money that I have earned from this video exclusively to do things that you don't agree with, and I hope that you appreciate that, because second channel, don't care. Goodbye. This is for videos that I don't want to fill up my channel with. This is I've had this channel for so long, so I think a lot of people, when they look at oldest videos, they're always surprised by what you find there. But yeah, thank you for watching. I hope I should make another one of these videos. This is the real money earner. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. The US is the biggest country by a lot of metrics, and therefore you want to make a good impression.
What is my
right?
YouTube?
Like,
What is my shirt? It looks like a YouTube button.
Want to impress them, and therefore, if you look at particular, you know, embassies,
Yeah,
you're gonna see.
I look basically the same.
Big. For instance, the British embassy, you know.
But I do look like
to
I've
say,
aged.
you know, best ally in the world.
Is that a good sign? Do I want to age, chat? Anyway, goodbye.